Hi everyone, welcome back to Asagao Academy. Oh, Hana's so cute and I love her. I woke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat. Oh, everything froze. Oh, that was lovely. Beautiful voice. Seriously, I can't get over how lovely the voices are. Mai was already up, shuffling through her school bag with an enigmatic grin. The first day of school.
Hana!
Hana, you're finally awake! Her voice sliced through the air like a knife, and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. I am not. I don't. It's time for the first day of school. Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's going to happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Hehehe. Something strange always happens on the first day of school, especially to someone like you. Yes, that's how storytelling works, Mai. Thank you. She winked. It's because I have to run this off an external drive. I love my Surface, but there are times when it just doesn't have the size that a regular computer does. Someone like me?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean. She smiled and started messing with a pile of papers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet. My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shoved the thoughts out of my head and changed into my uniform. Oh! What is it?
Aww.
You look so cute!
Really?
Really? Heat crept up my neck.
Yeah!
Yes, completely. Your hair matches your uniform so well. You look like a flower blooming straight out of the ground. Thank you. Water stung the back of my eyes, and I turned to start packing my backpack. Why was I getting worked up about something as little as this? I must have gotten less sleep than I thought. Because you haven't owned nice things, and when you do own nice things, people don't compliment you, they try to take it. That's not cool. Ugh, Hana. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy. How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. Yes! I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. Hee 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 hee. I can't do that properly. What an oddly menacing thud. All the air left my lungs as something like horse hooves slammed against my back. You'll do just fine. Don't worry, this is going to be awesome. I stiffly peered over my shoulder. That was you.
What?
Huh? Mai stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow she had the strength of a bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to zip my bag up when I spotted the book Satch gave me lying on my nightstand. Oh, hello. The Princess Betrothed. He said that if I ever needed to be transported somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It's pretty good so far. Maybe it would be smart to bring it along, just in case I had no one to talk to between class periods. Would I need it for my first day of class? Oh. And you know what? Hana was me when I was in elementary and junior high school, and I always had a book, and even now, I always carry a book with me. Gotta take it. I put it into my already overfull bag, biting my lip. It never hurt to be prepared, right? You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, sorry, eye contact. Stick with me and you'll be fine. Mai opened the door and together we stepped into the hallway, merging into a steady flow of chittering girls and fruit-flavored perfume. Yeah, that wouldn't be awful. Oh, hi. Oh, Mai. I did not know we lived on the same floor. No way, really? That's so awesome. Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened between you and... The river of girls shifted as we headed down the stairs. Suddenly I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know.
What a jerk.
Oh wow, what a jerk he turned out to be. Mai's exclamations faded into the buzz of voices in the air. Oh no. What would I do if we got separated? Anxiously, I searched the crowd of girls for Mai, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed in the same Asagao uniform. It was difficult to tell anyone apart, and being so short really didn't help the situation. As we turned the last corner down the stairwell, I saw a flash of red hair a little ways in front of me. Mai? I reached between two girls and tapped her on the shoulder. Huh? Oh, who are you? The girl's eyes flashed, almost like a jolt of electricity shot through them. I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. She said nothing and turned away. Before I knew it, I stood outside of Primrose House watching the flow of girls disperse across campus. Mai was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear her chirpy voice. Oh man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. But I didn't even know where the building was. I reached into my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom. 206 Poppy Hall? Which one was Poppy Hall again? Weren't the classrooms on the other side of campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore my rising panic at the thought of arriving late to the first day of class. I feel like they'd be understanding, but I don't know. And I'm the type of person who, like, I meticulously will plan out my route. Like, I will show up a day early for something to walk around and get to know the area first. As a third year, where no one knew me, all the people staring. Oh, someone's gonna say something.
Hey!
Oh my god, that was John! Hey, you okay? You look a little lost. Someone called out to me and I turned around, almost jumping for joy, when I froze. A Normal Boots jacket. He was part of the Normal Boots Club. I could practically feel my tongue swelling in my mouth. If this was a Normal Boots Club member, I had to make a good impression. It's good that you have your priorities sorted out, Hana. He was one of the founders, right? Then he must be... yes. I'm new. I don't know where Poppy Hall is. Come on. Oh. You a freshman? No problem. My class is in Poppy Hall. I'll walk you there.
Really?
Really? That'd be wonderful. Thank you. Was this really happening? He began walking toward the large brick building in an enthusiastic manner, pumping his arms up and down like he was some kind of show tune. I fell into step beside him. It's my JonTron. Oh, he's awesome. I didn't notice it when Mai pointed him out to me yesterday, but JonTron had big brown eyes and a warm-looking face. Like, it's just... They're so sweet. Even if the guys aren't like this at all in real life, these characters are just so sweet. He was basically a human puppy. I glanced up at him out of the corner of my eye. From what I understand, like, from like ProJared and PBG's playthroughs of this game, everyone's pretty accurate to what they actually are. Like, obviously with some artistic license, but like everyone really is this nice, which is awesome. I just love nice people. Hana's freaked out. Eep is not a word that I say in my regular vocabulary. A bird on his shoulder. Birds always made me uncomfortable. Something about the ease with which they could poke out someone's eyes. Is something wrong? Why'd you stop? No, nothing's wrong. He followed my gaze to the bird on his shoulder.
Hey!
Oh, this is Jacques. Isn't he cute? Nice to meet you. It spoke? Yeah. What? That's all you're giving? Yeah? That's it? That's all you say when your bird talks? He put his hand to his shoulder. Jacques jumped into his palm. Jacques is a robot bird. See? Hello. I love the eyes glow. It's good. Like, it's the little things that are making this really good. Jacques' eyes gleamed a dangerous red when he spoke, but nothing else suggested he wasn't a normal bird. In fact, if I hadn't known better, I would have said the red in his eyes was painted on. Ha. That's amazing. Jacques twitched his head to the side, examining me in return. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. What are you looking at? This bird has sass.
What?
What? Nothing. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Jacques can be a little sassy. Who are you calling sassy? I'm not the sassy one. I don't forget to feed you. Jacques, that was one time. I was alone and starving in the frozen tundra of this empty world. Loveless. Afraid. I feel like my dog would say exactly the same thing as Jacques. Like when we forget to feed her, she'd be like, nobody loves me anymore. There is no hope. The world has ended. It's totally what my dog would do. Ignore him. I've been bringing him with me to the drama club and he's taken a little too well to it. I see how this is. Shut me out like I have nothing to add to the conversation. Jacques retook his place on John's shoulder, this time facing away from us, as if miffed. We resumed our walk toward Poppy Hall. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John. Hannah. Nice to meet you.
Hannah.
Hannah. That's a cute name. What? Thank you. So, how long have you had Jacques? Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? I'm not listening. Yeah, well. I love him to death. I don't know what I'd do without him. It seemed like life would be a lot easier without him, but who was I to say? No! Pets make everything better. We arrived at the brick building. A white sign surrounded by poppies declared it to be, unsurprisingly, Poppy Hall. Which room were you in? Room 206.
Really?
Seriously? Yes? That's my homeroom. We're in the same class. John laughed and clasped me on the shoulder. Wonderful. I guess I'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Yeah.
Right. Together, we entered Poppy Hall. Poppy Hall was lined with fluorescent lights and Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students milling around the hallway indicated we were a bit late. We ran up the stairs and made it into the classroom just as the bell rang. My heart caught in my throat. Thankfully, the teacher hadn't come yet. Instead, students clumped into tight pods and milled around the classroom, catching up on vacation news.
John.
Thank you so much for showing me to class, John.
See you later.
No problem. I'll see you around. He waved and disappeared into the wriggling mass of students. I glanced around the room looking for an empty seat.
Hannah.
Hannah! Mai peeled herself out from between a cuddling couple. Was that JonTron? Were you just talking to JonTron? Yeah. Mai's eyes widened, and I couldn't help feeling a little smug. I realized I didn't know the way to class after you and I got separated, and he offered to walk me. Mai emitted a highly pressurized squeal. JonTron walked you to class? Oh my gosh, you have to tell me everything. She grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me to an empty desk in the back corner of the room, right next to the window. I saved you a seat. I slid in and took off my backpack, hooking on the side of my desk. I was a little bit worried the books inside were too heavy for the bag to handle, but so far it held up well. Sorry we got separated, by the way. It can get a little chaotic sometimes. So tell me, what happened? What did he say? What did he smell like? Does he have peach fuzz? Is it rough? Wait, what? These are very important questions I am asking. You need to answer them. Was his hair super silky, or did it have the roughness of a dog's coat? Oh, beautiful. I don't even know or care what their hair would feel like, but I just want to know what Mai would describe their hair as. Like, all the normal boots guys. Before I could answer, the door to the front of the room slid open, and a tall woman strolled in. The class went quiet and obediently slid into their seats. My heart beat furiously, blood rushing through my ears.
Class.
Good morning, class. Hello, Miss Shizuka. Hello. The teacher's melodious voice swam through the room, calming the buzzing high of students back from break. My shoulders relaxed and my fear ebbed away. I am your teacher, Shizuka Wakihisa. You may call me Miss Shizuka. Always the emphasis on the miss. The emphasis she placed on the word led me to believe that calling her Mrs. wasn't a mistake she would take very lightly. Some of you might have noticed that we have a new student this semester. A hail of murmurs passed through the class. Some people glanced at me. Nope, there was the fear again. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself? I nodded, stood, and slowly walked to the front of the room, counting my steps to make sure I wouldn't fall. I faced the class, took a deep breath to introduce myself, and noticed a familiar face in the crowd. Yeah! There was John, sitting with two other boys wearing Normal Boots Club jackets. Why does PPG look so grumpy? He's like super concerned right now. One of the boys, the tallest one, was staring at me, the barest of frowns on his face. Something about him seemed really familiar. Wait, he was PPG, wasn't he? The other founder of the Normal Boots Club. Suddenly, all the strength left my knees. What should I do? Why was he frowning? Was it possible that I already made a bad impression on him? You had to be kidding me. If he didn't like me, what did that mean about everyone else? Wouldn't they follow his lead? Getting ahead of yourself, Hannah. Just dial it back a little bit. I swallowed. The faces of the class began to congeal, forming one giant blob. You moved from Abaritsu, right? I nodded and swallowed again. Then, like a beacon of light, I noticed Mai smiling and giving me a thumbs up. Oh, Mai, you're adorable. That's right. What would Mai do in this situation?
Yes.
Yes.
Just moved here. My name is Hana Mizuno. I transferred from Amaririsu Public High School.
Amaririsu.
I'm really excited to be here. I hope you'll all take good care of me from now on.
Sounds like something my teachers would say. I bowed my head to the class and they clapped politely. When I looked up, PVG wasn't frowning, but he still seemed oddly confused. That seems accurate. Maybe he always looked like that. Pretty much. Thank you. You may be seated. I returned to my seat, heaving a small sigh. The hardest part of the day was over. Shizuka began to talk about standard procedure for the semester, the rules for classes, when homework was due, that sort of thing. It was all very similar to my old school, and I spaced out in spite of myself. A brief flicker of movement caught my eye. PBG again. I glanced at him, and his head snapped back to the blackboard. Ooh, he's looking at her. What was his problem? Class continued on like that until finally the bell rang and it was time for lunch. Mai stretched her arms over her head and yawned. Man, I hate the first day of class. It's always so boring. Weren't you looking forward to it this morning? Something about exciting things happening? Well, yeah, but it already did. You met JonTron, didn't you? Now I've got nothing left to look forward to. I'm with Mai on this one. She sighed. And I was hoping to see Jared before class, too. She slouched and fell across the front of my desk. It seemed like this would be happening a lot. Mai's very dramatic, but I love her. Is Jared really that hot? Mai's head snapped back up, her eyes flashing. What did you say? If you stare directly at him for too long, your nose will melt off. I've seen it happen. Mai, you're adorable, and I love it.
What?
What? Anyways, let's head to lunch. I'm super hungry. Oh. I looked at my backpack. It held up well throughout class, but I worried that if I didn't take some of my stuff out now, I might do some permanent damage to it. Especially with Satcha's book in there. I couldn't exactly afford a new backpack. I need to put something in my locker first.
Oh, no.
But if we don't go now, they'll run out of sesame seed buns. Oh. That's okay. I'll just go on ahead. Come find me, okay? Alright. That's so sweet of Mai. She's like, no, I'll go and I'll save you a seat and make sure there's good food. I was so lucky to have someone like her as my roommate. Quick as I could, I went to my locker and shoved the book inside. As good a book as it was, I was infinitely happier that I had Mai around, so I didn't have to read it. Without her, who knew what I would do with myself? Probably sit and read. Maybe I could ask her what was up with him when I met her at the cafeteria. Did I miss something? I think I missed something. It might just be the way that he was. Oh, she's talking about PPG. Cheered, I headed for the cafeteria. I carried my melon bread through the minefield of people, searching for the now familiar sight of Mai's red hair. I do love Mai's hair. It's gorgeous. Where is she? I couldn't see her anywhere, and there was almost no empty seats. All around me, students circled each other, laughing and joking, sharing bites of food and splitting the cost for sodas. Suddenly, I felt very obvious and very alone. Isn't there anywhere I can sit? Just then, I spotted a table at the front of the room. A lone boy sat at it, stabbing his spaghetti with the vigor of a Roman general. He was having a hard time with it. Oh no. Are these the rivals to the Normal Boots Club? We're gonna find out next time. Okay, bye!